I don't think access to guns has really changed. I mean, like I said, in the 18 years of working with juvenile probation, it was unfortunately easy for kids to get guns.
So what has changed?
I think their ability to problem solve has changed.
The juvenile justice expert rejects the idea the dramatic increase we've seen with gun crimes in teenagers is because simply there are more guns.
It's a very popular line for politicians. They say our community is awash in guns. But if the number of guns did not change dramatically, well, then what has changed with our kids?
For investigator Ryan Laughlin is looking for the missing pieces of our juvenile justice system and found changes in our kids' schools could be part of that solution.
You're under arrest.
Before teenage tragedies.
I don't mean for anything to happen like this.
I'm sorry that your kids have destroyed their lives.
We're not dealing with the root cause, which is the home life, if they even have one.
There are often classroom problems.
Drugs and gangs.
To set up drug deals, to video student fights.
Are school solutions and cell phones a missing piece of this puzzle? The challenges at John Adams Middle School are familiar.
A lot of our kids are being raised by grandparents because their parents might be incarcerated.
Gail Mitchell-Henry is in charge of student discipline.
We can tell, well, there is something in the history here, family history, that might be trickling down. You'll see certain behaviors, you'll hear certain innuendos,
red flags.
Red flags.
School fights, vaping, and suspensions were out of control. Principal Ken Murhedge has made school-wide changes.
They know what to expect. They know what we expect from them.
One change at John Adams is gaining traction statewide.
To bully and harass, to gamble, to watch pornography, and more. Basically, every problem our society has is brought into the classroom and amplified and intensified with cell phones.
Banning cell phones in school.
Only then will you begin to understand the cancer that is cell phones. I use the word cancer because I can't think of a word that better characterizes how insidious and destructive these devices are.
You want to outlaw cell phones in some areas?
I don't want to outlaw cell phones, but I do want to incentivize and reward school districts that do choose to implement phone-free anti-distraction policies.
State Senator Crystal Brantley, inspired by what feels like a losing battle for her teenage daughter's attention, is now backing a bill that would put aside $10 million to pay for specialized storage equipment for school districts to store phones during class.
We need to address the academic impacts and the struggles we're seeing in the classroom, and heavens knows that we need to address the impacts to mental health, especially with our teens.
The nation's report card, a yearly study, shows academic performance has been sliding since 2013. The very same year, the smartphone made its way into a majority of Americans' hands. Today, 5 states require school districts to have cell phone restriction policies. 3 states have outright banned them.
I really don't expect great things are going to come from that bill as it's written. I just don't see what's going to happen.
You don't think it goes far enough?
I don't think it goes far enough. I don't think it has the right incentives.
Is lunch different with no cell phones?
You won't see cell phones even during lunchtime at Manal School.
We need something to fill the void, right? Otherwise you're just staring at each other, you have to talk.
This school banned them.
You need to have personnel. Personnel implement policies, not equipment.
School principals don't have the time or resources to deal with cell phones. And so far, this district has done nothing to deal with the problem, relegating teachers to the role of cell phone cops.
We had battled with cell phones for a while before COVID.
The signs at John Adams Middle School do not show everything that's banned.
So when we started in the fall of 21, the first full year back, we had a policy that needs to be in your backpacks from the first bell to the last bell.
They also got rid of in-school suspensions, trained teachers on how to handle conflicts, and put an emphasis on community building. And that combination looks like it works. Student behavior dramatically improved. Days lost to out-of-school suspensions are down to 1/3 of what they were right before the pandemic.
If they can't trust us, if they don't respect us, they're not going to learn from us. And so they'll only respect us if we respect them.
So Senator Brantley's bill flew through its first committee, by the way, but Ryan is here to continue the conversation. And I would imagine some parents are saying, hold on, phones? I mean, is that really the biggest issue here when we've got juveniles who are causing problems or being violent? So what are the educators saying about this?
It's really interesting, Tessa. One of the uncomfortable things that we didn't fit into this story was that educators are saying parents are a big part of this problem. And it's really twofold. You know, on one front, some parents feel like they should have unfettered access to their kids, even during the school day. So you got teachers saying kids are trying to pick up the phone and figure out what they want for dinner in the middle of class. Educators are saying that's not how it should go. The second one is, in the teenage crimes that I've covered, the serious ones, parents have expressed remorse, but also a false sense of security when they're trying to track their kids. Like, oh, they have a cell phone.
Right.
I know where they are.
Right.
I got my hands on the wheel. I know what's happening with my kid. That's not the case. It hasn't prevented some really serious, deadly encounters that we've covered.
So what role should schools play? I mean, could they be a bigger part of the solution?
They absolutely could be, and it's a conversation that we're covering right now. It's a story we're working on for tomorrow. We're looking at a pilot program that APS is trying to roll out, and we're looking at some of the other strategies that have been proven to work. Restorative justice is one of the buzzwords that we've covered and talked about. We're going to unpack that a little bit more tomorrow.
All right, Ryan.